The episode opens with Jinwoo being abruptly woken by a call from Gina. Her sharp tone highlights his laziness, and he discovers it's already 2 p.m. Gina reminds him of her parent-teacher meeting, sending him into a panic. Later, Jinwoo arrives at the meeting looking unusually polished. Gina is surprised and teases him about his appearance, but he brushes it off, explaining he wanted to make a good impression. Walking through the school halls, Jinwoo becomes the center of attention, with girls whispering about him. Gina jokes about setting him up with someone, but Jinwoo quickly shuts her down. During the meeting, Gina's teacher praises her as a role model with a bright future in medical school. However, she advises Jinwoo not to pressure her too much. When the teacher asks what he'd do if Gina wanted to become a hunter, Jinwoo firmly states, "Not happening." The teacher nods, then asks for a favor from him. Later, Jinwoo meets Suni, who's startled to see him. She quickly realizes he's there to dissuade her from hunting. Unfazed by her defiance, Jinwoo calmly explains the harsh reality of an E-rank hunter's earnings. Frustrated, Suni accuses him of nagging and throws his own E-rank status in his face. Jinwoo surprises her by inviting her to follow him instead of arguing further. Meanwhile, in Japan, Jinul welcomes Donggu with a sarcastic exchange. Jinul directly questions Donggu's intentions, suspecting he's back to meet 2 specific people, Jinwoo and Leo. Donggu hints at handling unfinished business and urges the surveillance team to look the other way. Jinul, unfazed by Donggu's threats, coolly states he's just doing his job. Elsewhere, Guild Master Choi and his team return from Mijo Island with captured monsters. Choi briefs the Hunter Association chairman, warning that the creatures are repeatedly trying to cross the sea to the mainland. Gunny vows to do whatever it takes to prevent disaster. The scene shifts to Jinwoo meeting Sang and Songyi. Surprised by Jinwoo's call, Sang wonders about his sudden interest in training. He introduces a nearby sea-level gate and explains the raid lineup. 1 A rank, 5 B ranks, 2 C ranks, and 2 E ranks. Jinwoo, displeased with the large team, had hoped to show Songyi the harsh realities of dungeon raids, not a field trip. Despite his reluctance, he agrees to observe. As the team enters the gate, Jinwoo senses danger. The gate glows red, signaling a trap. Jinwoo tries to escape and barely manages to warn Sang to call for backup before being sucked back inside. Sang quickly contacts Beak, who rushes to assist. Inside, the team finds themselves in an endless snowfield. Panic sets in as they realize the gate has vanished. Kim Cha steps up, explaining they're trapped in a red gate, a dungeon where all contact with the outside world is cut off. Jinwoo calmly adds that their only way out is to defeat the boss or wait for the dungeon to collapse. He also warns that the place is crawling with magical beasts. Suddenly, arrows rain down on them, killing one hunter instantly. Jinwoo reacts quickly, catching a second arrow aimed at Songyi and shielding her. She's stunned by his reflexes. The group realizes they're surrounded by ice elves, deadly hunters known for their brutal efficiency. Jinwoo notes how their distance masked their presence and admits that, 2 months ago, he wouldn't have survived this. The ice elves retreat, leaving the group shaken. Kim Cha takes charge, declaring that no one's coming to save them. He insists they follow his orders to survive. To improve their odds, he proposes splitting into 2 teams, warning that staying put risks freezing to death. Most agree to follow him, but he coldly singles out the weaker members, refusing to take them along, claiming they'll only slow the team down. Kim Cha lays it out bluntly. 1 day inside this dungeon equals an hour outside, meaning they could be stuck here for months trying to beat the boss or waiting for the dungeon to collapse. With a frosty tone, he dismisses the weaker members as dead weight, promising to come back for them if they survive. One girl from the group decides to stick with Jinwoo, much to Kim Cha's annoyance. He thinks she's making a foolish choice, but she quietly tells Jinwoo she saw his reflexes earlier and is convinced he's far stronger than he lets on, possibly even a rank or higher. Jinwoo, as always, neither confirms nor denies. Kim Cha confidently declares he'll take the main road, assuming it's the safest. Jinwoo suggests leading his group through the forest instead. Later, Kim Cha's group finds claw marks on the trees, and he smugly announces they're in Ice Bear territory. He scoffs, predicting the E-rank group will meet their end soon. But then, Ice Bears attack his team. One charges, but Kim Cha blocks it with his shield and cleaves it in half with his axe. Without missing a beat, he moves to take on the others. Meanwhile, Jinwoo's group also spots claw marks. The girl warns they're in Ice Bear territory and suggests retreating, but Jinwoo insists they go deeper. He explains that the bears are the only danger here, and they're far less deadly than the elves waiting outside. She realizes he's right, no other magical creatures would dare step into Ice Bear turf. As the air grows colder, Jinwoo casually pulls coats from his subspace inventory and hands them out. The group is amazed, gratefully bundling up, but one member can't help but ask, "Who are you?" Jinwoo dodges the question, simply saying it's his job to protect them. "Don't ask too much," he adds with a grin. Just then, a massive ice bear emerges from the shadows. Jinwoo steps forward, calmly switching his title to Wolf Assassin as he prepares to fight. Outside, Beak studies the ominous red glow of the gate. He knows this is bad news and doubts anyone but top-tier hunters could survive inside. When Sang mentions that Jinwoo entered, Beak raises an eyebrow, asking his rank. Sang replies, "Technically, E rank, but he might have reawakened." Beak doesn't hold out much hope for Jinwoo. Dong-su arrives, and Beak isn't thrilled to see him. "Weren't you supposed to be in America?" he asks. Dong-su ignores the question and immediately demands why an E-rank hunter like Jinwoo was led into the gate. He scoffs at the situation, lamenting that Jinwoo will likely die before he ever gets to meet him. Inside the gate, Jinwoo finishes off the last ice bear, earning a level up while his team stares at him, slack-jawed. The girl mutters, "Who is this guy?" But Jinwoo remains tight-lipped. Later, as the group roasts bear meat over a fire, they marvel at Jinwoo's strength. The girl warns them not to get too comfortable where there's a pack of bears. There's bound to be a lair nearby. Jinwoo stands at the entrance of the ice bear lair, ready to let his shadow army stretch their metaphorical legs. With a commanding wave, he summons them, watching as they rush into battle. The shadows slice through the bears like butter, but a few of the beasts aren't going down without a fight, tearing into the army. No worries, though Jinwoo's mana regenerates his troops faster than a snooze button on a Monday morning. The shadow mages pull their weight, hurling spells with precision. Jinwoo nods in approval, impressed but also grumbling internally about the mana drain. Just as he's getting comfortable, the ice bear boss emerges, a hulking mass of fur and fury. With one devastating move, it obliterates the entire shadow army, draining Jinwoo's mana reserves like a leaky faucet. Out of options, Jinwoo summons his ace, Igris, the Shadow Knight. Calm, collected, and oozing confidence, Igris steps forward. The boss charges, but Igris sidesteps like a seasoned matador, delivering a surgical slash that leaves the bear staggering. In its final, desperate attack, the beast lunges, but Igris ends things with a clean, no-nonsense beheading. Jinwoo watches, thoroughly impressed, reminiscing about their earlier sparring match. "If Igris had used his sword back then," he muses, "I wouldn't have stood a chance. Heck, I might still not stand a chance." He gives Igris a well-earned nod of approval. Meanwhile, things aren't going so great for Kim Cha. His team is decimated by the Ice Elves, leaving him the last man standing. With panic in his eyes and survival instincts kicking in, he does what any self-respecting tanker would do in his situation. He runs. Fast. And that's where we leave things. Don't forget to hit subscribe, you wouldn't want to miss what happens next, would you? Jinwoo stood triumphant over the defeated Death Bears, showing off his necromancer skills with a simple command, "Rise." From the fallen beasts, shadowy versions emerged, swelling his ever-growing army. Outside the portal, Sung explained that the strike force had been stuck inside for 3 hours, which, thanks to the funky portal time, was more like 3 days. Red gates were infamous for being death traps, so Dong-su jumped to the conclusion that Jinwoo must be toast. As he was about to leave, though, he demanded to know why Jinwoo was even hanging out with the White Tiger Guild. Sung played it cool, saying Jinwoo was just tagging along to watch a C-rank mission. But Dong-su wasn't buying it. He grabbed Sung by the throat, accusing him of hiding something. That's when Baek Yunho stepped up, transforming and telling Dong-su to back off. Instead of calming down, Dong-su got even angrier, dismissing Baek as a big fish in a small pond. The two S-rank hunters started flexing their power, making everyone nearby feel like they'd signed up for the world's worst earthquake simulator. Meanwhile, inside the portal, Kim Chul was relieved to escape the Ice Elves, until he stumbled on the shredded remains of the Death Bears. He couldn't believe the E-ranks he ditched could have done this and decided the Ice Elves must have been responsible. Shaking in his boots, he ran into the forest. Outside the gate, Dong-su is taken aback when Woo Jin-chul intervenes, successfully halting the escalating S-rank confrontation. Woo Jin-chul reassures Dong-su that Sung Jin-woo is merely an E-rank hunter, emphasizing that he reevaluated Jin-woo 2 months ago and found no reason to believe otherwise. He further explains that the surveillance team's investigation into Dong-su's brother's death revealed that it was caused by a magic beast. However, Dong-su dismisses this as a convenient public cover-up, convinced that if Jin-woo isn't the culprit, then the true killer must be the wealthy Liu Zhigang. Woo Jin-chul questions why Dong-su is targeting Jin-woo if he believes he isn't the murderer, to which Dong-su coldly replies, "It's an excuse to kill." Before the conversation can continue, Dong-su is called away, muttering that Jin-woo is lucky. Inside the gate, Jin-woo's group was enjoying a rare moment of warmth and food around a fire until Kim Chul barged in, furious to see them thriving. He accused them of hoarding supplies, pointing the finger at Park Hee-jin for switching teams because she knew the truth. Kim Chul, in full drama mode, gave an ultimatum: confess or face his wrath. When nobody responded, he screamed Jinwoo's name and charged, but before he could land a blow, Jinwoo appeared out of nowhere and shut him down with laughable ease. Jinwoo scolded Kim Chul for blaming others, then turned his attention to a dark presence nearby. He called out whoever was hiding, saying their aura was too strong to ignore. Sure enough, the Ice Elves revealed themselves, with their leader sneering at Jinwoo. To everyone's shock, Jinwoo spoke the elves' language like he was on Duolingo for magic beasts. The leader explained they had sensed Jinwoo's overwhelming power and wanted to challenge him. Before the elf could finish, Jinwoo ended the challenger with one swift move. The leader, amused but unshaken, defended himself against Jinwoo's attack and dropped a bombshell. Jinwoo didn't feel human to him. Even the elves' mental, kill all humans instinct didn't apply to Jinwoo, which made them suspicious. Jinwoo, now more curious than annoyed, demanded to know why the elves were after humans. As the elven leader begins to answer Jinwoo, something bizarre happens. His body glitches like a broken video game, and he starts repeating himself. Despite the creepy loop, Jinwoo refuses to back down. The leader warns him that defiance will make Jinwoo their enemy and reminds him that they vastly outnumber him. Jinwoo just smirks, questioning what makes the leader so cocky. Without hesitation, Jinwoo summons his shadow army, leaving everyone including the elves staring in disbelief. The leader scoffs, calling Jinwoo's forces a waste of time. Jinwoo shrugs off the insult and demands a fight. The leader agrees, and chaos erupts. As the battle intensifies, the humans with Jinwoo attempt to escape, but elven archers target them. Jinwoo eliminates the archers with ease, yet he begins to grasp the leader's confidence. The elves are stronger than expected, and while his shadow soldiers are immortal, regenerating them drains his finite mana. Worse, the elven leader, Bara, is clearly stronger than Jinwoo. Bara, ever theatrical, formally introduces himself. Jinwoo responds in kind before their brutal fight begins. Bara dominates at first, but is caught off guard when Jinwoo teleports his blade mid-attack. Their exchanges grow fiercer, with Jinwoo barely holding his ground. Bara, exhilarated, admits he hasn't had this much fun in years. Jinwoo, smirking, drops a meteor on him. Meanwhile, Kim Chul regains consciousness and, still seething with rage, sneaks through the chaos to ambush Jinwoo. However, Jinwoo, anticipating this, uses Igris to create a smokescreen and swiftly takes Kim Chul down. In his final moments, Kim Chul realizes he's been outplayed. Jinwoo resurrects him as a shadow soldier, now named Iron. As Bara battles Jinwoo's army, his confidence falters upon seeing Iron's towering form. Bara mocks Jinwoo for hiding behind his creations. Demanding a direct fight, Bara battles Jinwoo, Igris, and Iron simultaneously. While dodging Igris's strikes, Jinwoo lands a hit, impressing even Bara with his relentless strategy. The tide turns when Jinwoo throws his dagger. Bara mocks him, but Jinwoo recalls the blade mid-flight, shattering Bara's weapon. Seizing the opportunity, Jinwoo orders Iron to restrain Bara, and a massive fire attack follows. Though Bara breaks free and strikes down Iron, Jinwoo counters, delivering the final blow. The shadow regenerates. Bara's defiance ends as Iron ensures his defeat is absolute. Jinwoo, amused, tells Iron to calm down before announcing the battle's end. A week later, Beak waits for news, expecting Kim Chul's return. When Jinwoo emerges unscathed, Beak is horrified to learn only 2 low-rank hunters survived. Demanding answers, Beak is brushed off by Jinwoo, who's too exhausted to care. Realizing Jinwoo saved them, Beak resolves to recruit him. Despite failing to raise Bara as a shadow, Jinwoo takes solace in gaining Iron. The weight of the battle lingers as he takes Sonya home. The next day, Jinwoo meets Leo for their mission. Insisting on picking up Sonya, Jinwoo inadvertently causes Leo to misunderstand their relationship, leaving Leo suspicious and concerned. You watching in absolute amazement as Jinwoo's soldiers effortlessly take down a group of powerful beasts. Their overwhelming strength leaves you baffled, wondering where these creatures came from. Jinwoo notices Yu's confusion and remembers Yu hasn't seen them before. He explains they are part of one of his skills, and Yu is stunned to learn such immense power is even possible. With the battle over, Jinwoo orders his army to start mining the area for crystals. Yu feels disheartened, realizing there's no way to compete with his army, and pleads for Jinwoo to at least let him have the essence stones. Jinwoo, not one to be selfish, agrees, and one of his soldiers shares the loot with Yu. Meanwhile, in a wrecked ship, a mysterious man stands amidst the destruction. A frightened soldier begs for his life, but the man calmly reassures him, though the language barrier complicates things. Switching to English, the man reveals he's human and simply wants to return home. Back with Jinwoo, he and Yu celebrate completing the 19 raids that were part of their deal. Now, Yu must pass the written exam at the association to get his guild master's license, enabling him to negotiate with his father. Jinwoo, however, decides to travel for a while. Yu assumes it's to avoid him, but Jinwoo, slightly drunk, assures him otherwise. The conversation turns personal when Yu reveals how his 10-year-older brother has never been kind to him, leaving him wishing Jinwoo were his brother instead. Touched, Jinwoo says that from this moment on, he'll consider Yu his little brother. Elsewhere, the mysterious man is restrained by investigators who speculate about his origin. Claiming to be a foreign hunter trapped in a gate for 10 years, he recounts his escape through a gate in America. Despite his explanation, suspicions linger that he might be a humanoid magic beast. The investigators request the aid of S-rank hunter Dong-Soo to interrogate him. For now, all they know is his name, Ian. Back at Jinwoo's home, he informs his sister he'll be traveling for a week. She notes how busy he's been and asks who he's going with. Annoyed, Jinwoo vaguely replies, "A friend." Soon after, Jinwoo revisits the Demon Castle. He recalls barely surviving his battle with Cerberus when he was only level 20. Now, with his level tripled, the challenge should be easier. Using a key from his system, Jinwoo enters the castle and learns the daunting quest requires him to collect 10,000 demon souls. Undeterred, he presses on, determined to gather ingredients for the elixir of life. Meanwhile, Yu discusses with his father his intentions to take over the guild, aware his brother has similar plans. Yu disapproves of his brother's risky ideas and insists on running the guild himself. However, his father seems more concerned about Yu's association with Jinwoo. He recounts how Jinwoo survived 3 perilous and controversial incidents: the double dungeon, the wiped-out raid team, and the convict massacre. Jinwoo also led survivors to safety during the Red Gate incident. Yu's father accuses him of leveraging Jinwoo's reputation to obtain his guild master's license. Yu admits his methods were questionable, but insists he has the guild's best interests at heart. Surprisingly, his father agrees to the plan on one condition: recruit Jinwoo into their guild before the White Tigers can. Yu confidently promises to make it happen. Inside the demon castle, Jinwoo discovers he cannot extract demons to add to his army and struggles to understand why. Nonetheless, he receives a permit to the next floor. Guided by a beam of light, he marvels at the dungeon's vastness. It resembles an entire city within one building. Riding on his summoned bear, Tank, Jinwoo navigates through hordes of demons, letting Tank plow through the enemies with ease. As Jinwoo progresses, he notes the demons' increasing strength and speculates that the castle might have 100 floors. Reaching 4,000 collected souls, Jinwoo remains mindful of his supplies and his promise to return home in a week. After an intense journey, he finally collects 10,000 souls and encounters Vulcan, the boss of the lower floors. Despite its massive size, Vulcan moves with terrifying speed. Jinwoo matches its agility and lands a powerful counterattack. However, Vulcan enters a second, more dangerous mode, forcing Jinwoo to strategize. Using the environment to his advantage, Jinwoo tricks Vulcan into crashing into a building, immobilizing it long enough for Jinwoo to deliver a decisive blow to its neck. With Vulcan defeated, Jinwoo earns a rare item, the World Tree Fragment. Elsewhere, Ian undergoes questioning by Dong-soo. Despite being labeled a humanoid magic beast, Ian insists otherwise, offering to undergo any tests. Dong-soo dismisses Ian's chatter, but Ian warns that humanity's understanding of gates and magic beasts barely scratches the surface. He claims that a catastrophic power has awakened, one hunters cannot stop. Dong-soo scoffs at the notion, but Ian grimly insists this force will consume humanity itself. Dong-soo, irritated and confused, cuts off Ian's ominous declarations, still puzzled by how a magic beast could have had a wife and 2 children. Dong-soo curiously asks Ian what his son's name is, and when Ian reveals it's Jinwoo, Dong-soo lights up with joy only to cruelly declare that Jinwoo is dead. Refusing to answer any of Ian's questions, Dong-soo coldly suggests he ask his son directly when they meet in the next world. To drive the point home, Dong-soo flexes a fraction of his power as a warning, but Ian responds with a deadly glare, making it clear he's not backing down. Meanwhile, back in the dungeon, Jinwoo's shadow army tears through yet another horde of demons. Facing the demon leader, Jinwoo quips about how one-sided the fight has become, wondering if the demon is shocked by the strength of his soldiers. It's clear even the undead can feel fear, and with a swift strike, Jinwoo decapitates the leader. A notification confirms his victory over Medes, the guider of souls, and Jinwoo levels up yet again. Outside the dungeon, chaos has engulfed part of the city. An investigator surveys the aftermath of a battle between S-rank hunters, marveling at how their power can reshape the landscape and destroy everything in sight. He notes that, fortunately, the destruction was contained to a single area, though the devastation could have been far worse. The clash ended so quickly that the damage didn't even have time to spread, leaving Dong-soo utterly defeated in a blink. Back in the dungeon, Jinwoo hits a snag. He's out of food. For now, this is where his journey must pause. He's reached floor 75, with 25 more to go, a daunting distance, but the rewards have been worth it. From his recent battles, Jin Woo's earned incredible gear. A necklace from the skeleton boss and an earring from the beast on floor 50. Together, they grant him a bonus of 5 points to all stats. But there's still one missing piece to complete the set. Jin Woo also acquires the Sphere of Avis, which doesn't boost him directly but dramatically enhances his magic soldier's firepower. Finally, he gains a cursed random loot box, which he had feared he'd never encounter again. To his relief, the box grants him a second key, though its purpose remains a mystery. For now, Jin Woo focuses on what truly matters, collecting the ingredients for the elixir of life. With the world tree fragment from Vulcan and the spring water from Echo Forest secured, only one more ingredient stands between him and saving his dying mother. Jin Woo vows that when he returns to the dungeon, he'll finish what he started.